Okay, I think that we are live now. Uh, First of all, apologies for the a few seconds delay, but Shady just came back from work, so he just made it on time. But yeah, we couldn't actually get a little warm up before the streaming this time. But that wasn't the case last week when we did the video on spatula. First of all, besides welcoming the audience, welcome Shady to the streaming.
Hello, thanks, Flo. Feels a bit weird to talk this language, especially before talking 2 hours in our original language. So yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
super happy to be here.
I'm feeling a little bit weird too. I was trying to. I was wondering if I would be able to change the language chip for
Okay,
the for the streaming, but it's. I think that it's going to work. Shady, don't worry.
yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
this is a little bit of not a very interesting race for you tonight, or what? Let me tell
No,
me.
absolutely no expectations about this race. I'm here because I have to. The 5 millions are juicy, but yeah, if I could skip, definitely I would do.
Skip the season, you mean?
No, I mean the race. No,
Oh,
no,
the race. Okay,
I
okay,
I can do something in this season. I guess.
fair.
Still need to wait a little longer, but yeah, it's gonna happen at some race. I'll push.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is of course not a push season, so this is the kind of season you need to build your pack and try to get resources, perhaps to do some other push later on. Do you reckon that you will be able to push anytime soon, or do you believe it going to take at least a couple years to get back to that position?
Well, it's gonna depend. I think my package overall is not that bad, but I think there are stronger managers than me right now, even along my team. So I feel like if everything clicks, I can push, but if it doesn't happen, I'm happy with it. I already achieved what the the plan I built back in the day. Already take hit the goal. So at this point, I'll just try to rebuild, prepare my let's say the money or the balance, the sponsor situation, prepare for eventuality a moment to push later in this elite stint.
In this Celestine, yeah, and you have hopes you don't need to relegate to rebuild in lower in
Exactly.
the lower leagues. Well, that sounds promising. Let's see how it goes. But first of all, I wanted to let the people following the streaming that we had. I mentioned briefly that we had an interview with JD in Spanish last week. It was a very nice one, I believe. And we took the chance to go a little retro, and try to um, get a walk through his career and his formative seasons and such. And I think that perhaps we won't be focusing so much in that this one, but we can still give it an interesting portion of the streaming. Another thing I wanted to mention is that given that we are live today, that you have the chance to participate in the chat, and we will be able to see what you post in the chat. So anyone who wants to comment or something, or perhaps has any type of question, you're welcome to post your comments on the chat at YouTube. Of course, I'm talking about YouTube, and that perhaps will get a mention or a comment later on the streaming. So feel free to use the feature, and of course you can have a chat among you and have fun and comment on whatever you want besides the questions you may have. Anyway, Let's go retro, as I said. Let's go a little vintage, and let's talk a little bit about your first seasons and how you got to the game, because of course there's people that haven't heard this in Spanish, so I'm sure they will be interested to listen about this. How did you how did you find out about the game, and what kept you playing once you discovered the game?
Okay, well, first I met the game because of a Facebook advertisement. It was a long time ago, but yeah, one of the funniest things I remember about the game is the first day I told you in Spanish. I know you already laughed a lot about it, but the first I've done is downloading the guide and read it all. I printed it and sit at home, just reading the rules, starting to understand how to play and the basics. So maybe it's not the common thing you do when you start playing. The first you do is touching everything, trying everything. But
Spend
yeah, I
money.
took
Put the
yeah,
put the
yeah,
car on track and
absolutely.
spend money.
Yeah,
Fix the
but
car, even if it
read,
doesn't need fixing.
reading the rules didn't actually prevent me to spend the money. So I
Oh,
spent
you
it
did both.
anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, both.
Uh,
Just
so
different
you
approach.
don't feel too bad about not being the stereotypical newbie. You hit both checks. You check both. Both is the one that everyone should do some research before starting to play. Having mentored a lot of people in my career, I can tell that not many people do that. I was a little bit of a shady back in my day. I didn't comment this in Spanish, but I also did uh, eh, check all the material on the website to see the rules and such.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
you
think
know,
it's a good way to start playing because yeah, basically the mechanics or what is the game about, even useful data like the economics is there. So m- in my opinion, it's the best way to start playing. So even if you after that do whatever you want or do the same as I did, spending all the money and buying a new level 2 car, I mean, at least I was aware about my actions. So yeah, it's fun. And yeah, even I remember my mom saying like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Like it was February, so here in Uruguay we don't go to school at those times, so there wasn't a
summer
really a
holiday.
reason to. Yeah, we were on holiday, so there wasn't a reason to be reading at something on February sun 5 p.m. and I was reading GPRO rules. So instead of playing football or going to the beach, I was really reading GPRO
Such a
rules.
nerdy boy.
So yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's put some context to this, because some people are not perhaps aware of how old you are now and how old you were back then. But matter here is that JD has been playing GPRO or GPRO for 15 years now. He joined, as a matter of fact, a few months before I joined myself. So he's been around longer than I have. And as a matter of fact, he was a teen when he joined. He was very, very young. He was a schoolboy still at high school or starting high school.
Yeah.
So he was very young. So it is a little bit strange that a kid that young goes through the rules and such. And we have this adult version of JD now here with a trophy, but I assume that seemed a little unlikely by then when you were just playing in a very casual way. Tell us about the teams you had at the beginning and the gameplay style, because this was something that came up in the interview in Spanish, and I think it's very fun.
Well, first let me say hello to an old teammate. Just talking about that, but Gonzalo Reta is there, so Hi, Gonzalo. He
Yeah,
was.
he's teasing you about football apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. We won 4-0. So yeah, I went to the stadium, so I'm happy, absolutely happy about that.
You're in a good
So
mood then.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Your team won. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So well, back in the day, I started playing in a team that they were all casual players. Um, Basically, my two team leaders met in rookie. So the first of them that promoted built a team, and well, people from Uruguay, it was an Uruguayan team, just were joining the team. I entered that list in that way. So yeah, we didn't really pay a lot of attention on strategy or planning or whatever. I always show that we did a default strategy of medium tires, 80 liters, and yeah, that was the race planning
The
every
fixed mono
single race.
strategy, as I called it in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we had that play style, and well, I started caring about GPRO results or whatever once I got into amateur a bit. It took 2 seasons to hit my first season in amateur, so I started to pay attention to more things, etc. But till then, it was basically that way of that play style along the way. Uh, the first I had is a bit of hits to a wall with my head, so it
A
was
little
a tough.
reality check. I
Yeah,
remember
well,
my very first race. I actually had 7 pit stops because I
yeah,
ruined my fuel strategy. It started to rain, so I had the last slots in the strategy with very little fuel. So I kept uh, entering the pits to load some fuel because I was running out all the time. So that was funny. That was funny,
yeah,
but I think that we all have our beginnings and they are a little, oopsie. Uh, we are all a little bit careless at the beginning, or perhaps we think that we have an idea what we are doing, but we are not aware of we are doing. I
yeah.
I'm sure that you thought that you were very insightful and you were doing a great job back then.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a feeling, but something I really feel right now it's that we were on day-to-day planning, so we basically had a race and we prepared that race, but nothing else. So yeah, we had the mentality to win every race. So just whatever it
The,
happens, and doesn't matter what I done earlier, I was just timing to win. So back in the day, it was like that. And well, for rookie, where most of the people do that, maybe even amateur, it works. But then, well, when I reached pro and well, a bit of master taste as well, it was really a tough situation for me. I like it was like a tough experience to go through because well as
a hard pill to swallow.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like,
And you were very young,
yeah,
actually. You
yeah. I
you
I
were
was about to say
18,
that.
so that I assume that was very frustrated to you.
Yeah.
When did things start changing for you? When did you start looking at the bigger picture?
Well, I think it was can really recent, let's say, compared to those times.
Compare, yeah, in the 15-year span.
Yeah,
It's not
I
like it was
think.
yesterday, but we're talking about a 15-year span.
Yeah, I think the last time I came back to the game, I had a really inspirational teammates about the thing of planning or preparing for the future. So looking at the bigger picture was about building a driver. Back in the day, I started with that, but then it came with well, preparing season, taking goals for each season, and well, maybe realizing that maybe winning every race or being competitive every race is not necessarily the best for every season. So yeah, I kind of absorbed everything that was able around me, and with that mentality of okay, I need to grow up, I need to understand that the game is not about um, playing every race and just that. It's a way more than that. And well, once I realized that, I've been able to actually prepare things for the future that wasn't in my skill set till I joined this 2018 last time, something like that. So
That was, yeah, season 68. You started with the Uruguay racing team back then.
yeah,
Um, so you had some fellow countrymen back then. You still were part of mainly Uruguayan team. We were recalling Martin Irla back
yeah,
then last week. I think that he deserves a mention here because I think that he was like the dynamo of that team. He was the one with so much energy. And
yeah.
yeah,
It's
please.
sorry, sorry.
No, 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 please,
Uh,
please, please
I feel like
explain how it goes, how those team dynamics worked, because I think this is very, very interesting.
yeah. First, the first we got with Martinez that he was really active, and as you said, he was basically an energy bomb. So basically everything the team needed, he was able to work around that. So yeah, most of the thing is that the activity of the team was around him and his energy. So all of us were learning around him. So yeah, it's like as a person like him really helps every team to to
He makes an
actually
actual
improve.
difference.
Yeah, yeah. So and if you see, even comparing to my actual teammates, uh, it is huge when someone brings energy, and you will, it's like you wouldn't, you love to follow those people, like you really care about them and how they work, so as they work so hard you want to work hard as well. So the dynamic basically works around that. In back in the day, Martin also, something we were discussing in the other interview, um, that he basically had a really open mindset to actually open the horizon. So we were an Uruguayan team, but actually we were working with other people of other nations. So yeah, that was basically the key to bring some experience that wasn't in our team. So
Yeah, I think that perhaps it's not clear. We discussed this before, so we know what we talk about. Perhaps it's not clear that the main point besides that this energy and this leadership that Martin brought is that he was already observing the game from a different perspective. I'm having this more full picture idea that you were actually not a kid anymore at that point,
mhm.
but you were still missing that leg on your gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the key to you evolving into a more mature and more adult gameplay in back in that time.
Yes, I think something that he had is that he always had really good relationship with everyone. So if you talk to him, it was really likable guy. So at some point,
A good communicator.
yeah, yeah. So if you he knew half of the game at some point, I think, and everything you tell him, he was like absorbing it as well. So maybe that contact with all good people that knew about the game helped him to realize about this bigger picture and the stuff we were missing. So yeah, when we as part of his team uh, got close to that information, it basically made a change.
But I think also that there was perhaps a need for many of the players to have the right environment, because you already wanted to aim for something different, but there was not actually a team that was having a more dedicated gameplay, and they were trying to play not in that very casual way, but with a more long term perspective. And this team actually came to fill that gap.
Yeah, I think the something to mention is that back in the day we had really different goals as a manager. So I always felt or visualized what I'm doing right now. I always wanted to play for something big, big stage. So here, being able to reach elite and being in contact with people that aims for the same really helps. So back in the day, maybe we were two, three guys aiming for that, and at this point, I mean, I felt like just changing the topic, but yeah, I felt the point on reaching Nuvolari or a team like Nuvolari, the the key to actually do a bigger step. So back in the
I
day,
think
what the goals of each manager when the team is maybe not is not the same, it it doesn't help to actually uh, develop what the team knowledge is. So because we already
when not
might have.
everyone is aiming the same, and they don't have this shared goal, you mean?
Mhm. Yeah, it basically doesn't help to actually push each other and to try
Up your
to lift.
game.
Yeah, but
Up
I
your
mean,
game now.
yeah, but it doesn't really push each other to improve every skill set we have. So once you hit a level of let's say of happiness on what you know and you can play in the game, you stop researching, you stop looking for better ways to optimize your package. So I never feel like I'm reaching that point. Even right now, I think that I could
With
do.
a trophy in the bag.
Yeah, but despite I think it was a good plan, I think I can improve it by miles away, miles. Well, I don't know if miles away makes sense on what I'm saying, but I really can improve a lot.
Don't
So
worry about the
yeah,
the
but
vocabulary. I think that they are going to understand you. Don't worry.
yeah, but I think I always try to realize what I can do better, and being along people that actually cares about the same uh, always makes something good from what we exchange, what we talk, what we want. So yeah, basically that's the key about the game basically.
Yeah, I put this question on the screen to share, because it came actually related to this that we are discussing now. You
Okay.
know, because this quality jump between some teams, and why some teams are so big, and they actually, it shows the difference between certain teams, uh, is pretty noticeable, even when from an outside point of view. And here we have someone who wants to know um, why these teams are so big, and if there's probably, or a certain key to the data and tool management. Uh,
Oh,
this is something that came out in previous conversation we had, actually. So we
well,
discussed this.
yeah, I think the thing about big families basically is that at some point it's data related, and at some point at least on what I'm experiencing now is that we already had a families and people goes and come back. So the family keeps growing at this point because people that were retired came back and we had to open another team. So basically, if we have the spot and we have the energy to bring people back, bring people in, and actually make a more active team, the, make the team a bit more active. So yeah, basically that's the thing how it works for the families, um, or
Yeah,
that's
but
why
you
we
also have
play in
this
families.
dynamic where sometimes someone is lower on motivation, and so there's the moment where perhaps the people that were still developing their gameplay can step up
Yeah,
and fill that void.
yeah,
But it's cyclic. We talk
exactly.
about this. We have cycles, as players, especially when you have been playing for 15 years, like JD here. You cannot be at the top of your game, or you might not be at the top of your motivation all the time. But in a team that works in a healthy way, you will always have someone who is in a better position at that moment,
Yeah,
that can carry on with the motivation and energy, and some people that perhaps are a little more retracted. And we also commented on how this energy and this motivation and this intra-team discussion, especially regarding long-term planning and motivation, is most of the time more important than the tools or the data that the team manages.
yeah,
You
yeah, exactly. I mean,
confirm it,
no,
JD,
no,
because you have
absolutely,
plenty of
absolutely.
experience in such a team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the something I mentioned back in the previous interview as well is that the breaking point in Nuvolari at some moment of this later history, it's where some people that are basically super active and have the energy to play arrived to the team, and basically that pushed us that we were lower in energy back to the game as we should be playing. So that basically is 95% of the success that Nuai had this last three seasons, even if we want to say that this is actually a, a good season as well. So we can add this Diogo's push as a success, even though we didn't it didn't finish. But I think what we are looking at right now is top level of playing, so we can be happy about that.
We actually have Diogo there on the screen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Lorenzo is such a top player, and Diogo is facing him really standing out. So yeah, basically that's the main thing in a team to actually achieve success, in my opinion. And well, the data and tools, something it's important is that even if we are 40 people, 50 people, 30 people, or even we close the doors and never get again, so we drop the number to 10, we all have the same data, all the same tools, we always share everything. So that's what the team philosophy is about. So yeah,
and
something that
and that
I
also
know.
shows that with the same tools, people have different results.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. It's about the how much you care about the game actually, and the time you spend planning, the time you actually try to get better every day. So so yeah, I think, mm, talking about me or my plan, it was about that every single moment. and the times I had to replan or uh, came back to the roots and understand what I was doing wrong. So yeah, that following such a good energy in the team helps to achieve whatever you want.
I think that many people have this misconception that there's perhaps a data collection or tool difference that is probably very, very big between teams, and might or not be the case, but that is at the end of the day not what makes the difference between who gets to be elite champion and who doesn't get that. Uh, of course, you need decent, at least, tools to achieve that, because if you have a bad fuel strategy every race, of course, you are going to extra pit and lose positions. But from a base of good tools, the variation in quality is big, and not all the time the person that gets the to challenge for the trophy is the person in the team with the best tools. As JD said, there's a lot of insight and analysis that goes on, and it's not individual; it's a team play. And if you don't get that, then it's very, very hard to achieve something this big on your own.
Yeah,
So join teams, people.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, playing alone is basically impossible at the current stage of the game. It's been a lot of time with the study of the game, and not having that chance of sharing whatever, even if you start from zero or you already know whatever. Even if I live Nuvolari right now, my success doesn't doesn't really cares to cares. No, I mean, it's not useful what I've done until now to play alone and win the same as I am right now as part of Nuvolari. I
You
don't.
would probably be outdated sooner than later.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, basically, if you are not interested in sharing your game, you are giving a lot of advantage.
To the competitors, of
Yeah,
course. Uh,
yeah. Even for basic things, imagine you have to qualify, do a strategy, and maybe for you it's an easy two stopper or an easy one stopper or whatever. If a teammate has a different point of view, it is just rich to actually exchange ideas and simulate every race for everyone and understand. Okay, this works for this and this works for that. Okay, this could be good for this race. This idea. This is actually maybe the most important in the day-to-day play.
uh, there's many people that perhaps don't realize that, of course, one as a manager can make a lot of choices and decide. And you can think of a fuel strategy, how many stops, but you always have other players on the track that are going to have an impact on the results, race to race, and of course, season wise. And many think that I don't know, especially the beginners, the newbies, might not realize that there are many factors that they are very hard to see when you start playing, like blocking and the overtaking difficulty, and that they play a very, very big role in the higher leagues. Another thing that we also discussed last week was that there is a moment when you reach a tier like master, where the technical differences between the packages are starting to come closer together. They are not that big, so these little details about, okay, these first of all tracks at at GPRO are hard overtaking. Let's put the the standards out there and clear, because it might say it's easy, but perhaps the ovals are the only easy ones. Actually, the rest are
Yeah, yeah.
hard or very hard, ultra hard, and unspeakable hard. You know, but tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm
No,
wrong,
no,
JD.
absolutely, absolutely.
It is absolutely like that. So you need to say, you were saying, wow, okay, yeah, this race perhaps with this horrible overtake, I might be trying to do one last one less stop, because it's practically impossible that I overtake a current track.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think actually the race that we are watching at, it's really a good example. It's not a hard overtaking race, if I don't recall bad. I think it is a normal overtake, if I'm right. But if you look, Diogo and Lorenzo were stuck, uh, one in the first stint ahead, and then they switched positions. But they are not clearly one faster than the other, so overtaking is impossible. And actually, what's making the difference is the pit stop and the extra lap Lorenzo did here. So, so yeah, that's a really good sample of
Uh,
what we are
and
talking about.
and Diogo started from pole the race. That's
Yeah,
why the streaming is following him, because he was on pole. So I didn't change the point of view on the race player. So that's what we see. But exactly the point we're making here. Diogo is going to have a hard time here. The pace are
yeah.
the lap pace is. Oh, Diogo is here. Hi there, Diogo.
Hello, Diego, my friend.
Nice to see that you are following the streaming. So at the end of the day, we are going to see a pit crew definition.
Yeah, so sorry, I was reading the chat. So I
But
basically,
the chat is there for a reason, JD. Please.
yeah, I was
Uh,
thinking about Diogo and how he's feeling right now about the race. So yeah, he's hitting his fingers. So
Nailing.
I understand him. Believe me, it's tough to be behind. So, but this is, I mean, at the moment you feel terrible, but then you are happy that you
He's
felt
the
terrible
poor
at the
idiot
at
with
the
the
time.
pressure. You know, you're
Yeah,
in a retention season and you are completely relaxed, and he's the poor idiot with all the pressure. I
yeah, yeah,
do recall something from my, of course, from the times when I used to play the game. I've been retired for almost 2 years now, but one of the things that got the stress factor high in any push, it was not that. I remember many of the Jacks wanted it to be over, you know, having
yeah,
like the most impressive build up to that season, having the package in the right, and that job done. And then during the actual push season, it was a nightmare. They were like incredibly pressured by this. Okay, here it is. This is the moment, and you did all you had to do. Now you need to kind of pray and wish that all the job you did during all these seasons actually returns the investment. And it's a
yeah,
horrible pressure
yeah,
to have, you know, because there's perhaps less actual work or difference you can do during that season. And the hardest part is not that you don't need to do any work, but the hardest part is already done, and now you are there for the moment of truth.
yeah. Basically, the highest pressure at the moment is to actually do the things right, because you can basically uh, throw it away with such a small mistake, and every little
And you're going to
detail
blame that small
matters.
mistake for the season, because
Yeah,
that is what always happens.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, like, it was always about performing and staying quick of mentality, like every race, being aware of what was happening. So so yeah, at the moment, I mean, it's tough to travel about the season, because even these seasons that are really even, it's even the most more difficult, because at some point I had some gap. I've been behind as well. So but the moment I had with Peter, that we were same level of points, were really a short number of races. So at some point, the anxiety for me was super high, but not this high, I think. And yeah, I mean, the work is done, as you said. uh, Most of the part is the preparation. Once you hit the moment of the truth, it's like performing a race, trying to have a better strategy than the other. Of course, there is a lot of times you have to plan and come back to the board and understand what is yeah, what is going on,
Going what
and
back to
how.
the whiteboard, as we said last week.
Yeah, the whiteboard, sorry. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
well,
but
basically,
that makes me think of Willie Coyote, and the Roadrunner,
yeah,
with all his plans, and him trying and trying again and trying again, and trying to think of different. You have like a Willie Coyote
yeah,
moment when you need to go back to the whiteboard and plan again, and it's very stressing.
yeah. As I said, back in the day, but it was 60 different planning during the season, and it
People,
basically
this
takes.
guy is insane. Let me tell you. Let me clarify this. This guy is a loon. He's bananas. 60 times. How do you change the a season plan for a season that has 17 races 60 times? JD? You're a lunatic.
Yeah, I I know, like, well, and you are saying this, just hearing it, imagine my teammates reading every crazy idea I had back in the moment. I mean,
But Jan enjoyed it.
yeah, well, Jan is
He
basically
enjoyed it. I
same
know he
crazy
enjoyed
as
it.
me, or even more crazy than me. So yeah, but something that is fun about sharing a lot of work with Jan is that he always wants to make it better. It's not only that he wants, it's he can make it better. So you get frustrated, basically. I'm always trying to impress him, trying to say, to make him
Oh,
say, okay.
little boy JD wants to impress Daddy Jan.
um Hello, Martin.
Hello,
Well,
Marlin.
the sponsors, I think, is the most important part. I think it's what actually makes the difference. In my opinion,
But
it made a difference, at least for me. And well, I think you are doing a great job, and you have the
oh,
good advices to actually prepare something good. So I
we'll see
think
what happens here with
I think we'll
Martini
have you
Parker, as
here.
as we call him.
Martini.
Martini, yes,
Why?
because he's the previous team to Jaguar was
Oh,
Martini.
okay,
The
makes sense.
scandalous Martinis. Don't you remember the Martini scandal, JD?
No, I don't remember the scandal. Well, I was
Oh, it
playing.
was it was a big scandal.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
very
didn't know.
juicy with
Okay, if you can
with very
tell
juicy
me, I'm
details.
open to hear it.
Let's keep it that people could discover that in the forums. They could go back in the forum and try
Okay.
to pick up what happened back then,
Okay, well,
and give it a try there. Uh,
I'll ask you after the stream, so I'm
yes,
not going
for
to the
sure.
forum.
And I'm going, but I think that it would be fun to follow through the forums to see
Okay.
what the polemic stuff was about, and trying to see the point of view of the players. I have a very different point of view because I have a little bit of behind the scenes access.
Okay.
So it won't be the same if I tell my point of view. Of course, Martin here is promising he's not a DA. Actually, he is not. I can attest to that. He's not a DA.
Well, it's good to have a hint about what happened. So
Besides that, but we let's recap because we have again in our minds a very fresh still what we discussed last week, and we have these new questions coming this week.
yeah,
So last week we discussed that, of course, we said there were two things that we said that were the most important, and each was classified as the most important, but actually they go hand to hand, and they are, of course, the driver development, long term. Driver development, we discussed that, and of
yeah,
course, another game changer is the sponsors game.
yeah,
So let's not decide that this is the most important or this. They are both very big game changers here. Let's
yeah,
put it at the same level, perhaps.
yeah. I think the yeah, yeah, absolutely. They are. I think at a little point you already understand how driver works. So if you ask me right now and for elite level, I think the most important is the sponsors because I accept that you already know how to work with the driver.
Because you got the driver sorted earlier on. That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
point. If you don't
But
have the driver, what happens? You become Jasper.
okay,
There's people that got that reference. The dinos here got that reference. If not, I can explain later.
yeah, I remember.
You remember
It-
that? Yeah,
yeah,
you are a
I
dino.
remember.
Yeah.
I am a dino. But yeah, basically, um, I have to say that for people that is playing at lower levels, maybe they are same important, but I think focusing on driver actually it's maybe better because the sponsor thing you'll get it sorted as long as the good result comes and then you'll start to understand how to play it with sponsors once you are trying different things. But the driver thing is something that you have to decide at some point and say, okay, I'm taking this
Earlier
driver,
than
I'm taking.
later.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to someday decide to to look at the big picture and understand why it's good to take a driver and prepare it. If you see basically all the the last 5 6 champions in elite, all of us had a previous driver. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the common path, let's say,
The
to
common
prepare a
denominator.
good
Yeah.
driver, promote, train the driver, prepare him for the push. So it applies as well if you are an amateur. So if you want to go to pro, if you want to go to master, it's a really good
A
way
really
to
good
understand.
investment. And I must
Yeah,
say that it is also a very interesting path or a starting point to learn about the game.
yeah,
I recall myself picking a driver when I joined Jaguar back in season 30. I think it was, or 31. I don't remember. I think it was season 30. Picking a driver and starting to project that driver over the seasons and arriving to elite with that driver. And it was a great exercise for me to learn about, of course, drivers, but also to develop my gameplay with that base and following along. I think that I learned a lot about that game, about the game in my earlier seasons, thanks to having this constant in every season that was following through with my driver and trying to take it to elite, and then of course realizing what I had done wrong with that plan and trying to rebuild from there. But I think that setting this as the perhaps your companion along the way while you are learning is a very nice experience, and you can learn a lot as a newbie from taking a nice driver amateur and trying that you both grow up together. You grow as a manager, and the driver grows as a driver. That's
yeah. I feel like something good is that to realize how much the driver improved and how it took how much it took to build the driver at certain level. So once you realize that, you will see all the process, and also you can actually let's say understand what's the level of each group, and understand maybe better when you are growing with the driver, like at the beginning of a new
Cycle.
tier, let's say. No, I mean, if you took the driver, you are an amateur, you promoted to pro, you start in pro, and you'll understand that you are maybe weak compared to others, but you'll start closing the gap every race, and understanding that moment, the how the game is going, why you are getting closer, and maybe what the other guys do that you are not doing, or you are doing different. It's
Or vice versa.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically something that you learn a lot. So you can actually eat that experience, and use it at all levels in GPRO, not only amateur to pro. It works from master to elite. It works from pro to master. Even if you are rookie,
Close
you
the
are
gap.
starting the first day, it is a good way to start learning the game. And let me
Okay.
say something that
Yeah,
talking about the
I want
importance.
you I want you to close this and
Okay.
reply to Peter,
Yeah.
because there is an uncomfortable question for you.
Okay. But let me. I have to say that the most important thing on success is having Diogo as a teammate.
Fair enough.
I
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
We have the how important it is to have a teammate like me, of course.
yeah, and
Uh,
let me say that once you survive Diogo, because he's tough, he's really direct a
Surviving
person.
Diogo.
So yeah, you have to survive Diogo. But once you do, I think you discover that you have the patience, you have the, let's
You are
say,
mature.
yeah, you're
You
mature. Yeah,
realize you have grown up and you are now an adult.
yeah. I think it's a good starting point.
Well, endure Diogo, and you will be successful because you are mature.
Yeah,
He, oh my God! Are you
yeah.
having an overtaking rush there,
Right now,
Diogo?
I have let's say, I don't know if the word is bold prediction, but I think this race is going to the very very um, last
T-
laps,
Yeah,
like this,
and we are not going
and
to know who
I
wins it until the last lap.
yeah, but I trust you, mate. Don't feel the
W-
pressure. I trust you. You got this.
You got this. Okay, let's go back to now that Diogo has been properly appeased. We are going to go back to Peter's question about sponsors and how, with so many teammates that lead, you actually discuss, the sponsors distribution. So please enlighten us.
Uh, phew. How
That's
go?
a tough
Can,
one. I told you so.
yeah. Also, I can't really go into a lot of detail because this is gonna be listened by rivals as well.
Of course, yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah,
think you can still share a little bit.
I think the key for us is that we all are on the same page in the about the sponsors. So we all work, let's say, under the same basis. Let's say so. Deciding it, I can say who or in which situation who takes a sponsor, or what kind of a sponsor takes. But we all are we all are oh sorry we all are on the same page,
Page,
so
and we
we
are all
decide
aligned.
kind of easy who gets each sponsor. Also, sometimes it's about someone requesting it, but that's the basically we know who needs sponsors, we know who can attack anytime, and we take that as a base.
Diogo, rock, paper, scissors for the
uh,
sponsors. Is that the method? Oh, you have a
sometimes
UFC
sometimes
match.
it feels like an UFC contest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but no, I
I
mean,
believe. Let me tell you something, because I have been in such team back in the day when I was a player. It's not like I was the highest level player ever, but I know a thing or two, and it's about being honest to
yeah,
yourself
yeah,
and forgetting about your ego, because sometimes you think that you deserve everything all the time, and sometimes there's a teammate that is in a clearly better position than yourself, or will have the need in a different moment. So if you need to be very, very self-conscious and self-aware of how your pack is and what is your moment, so you can actually be an asset to the team and get to a wise decision that works for everyone. Tell me if I'm wrong, JD.
sorry, I got
Yeah,
the
yeah, you're getting distracted. I see. Come back here,
you
please.
know,
I
I
need
mean,
you.
I understand. I think the what you said about being honest and understanding where you are stepped on right now, it's the most important thing about sharing sponsors with your teammates in the same tier, especially in elite. I think I don't feel like Diogo says joking that it's like an UFC championship. So for me, it's always an understanding that if I'm chasing a sponsor and a teammate is chasing a sponsor, if he's in a better position than me, okay, he has the rights to decide instead of me.
Do you call
So
dips? I saw it first. I saw it first.
yeah, but it's like for me it works like that at least. And but yeah, sometimes well, when two guys that are aiming at the top wants a top sponsor, it's absolutely normal. I think, well, it maybe happens that there are some discussions. One gonna say that everything it's a pink, a rose color, super lovely
Rose colored
yeah,
glasses.
okay.
Rose
So
colored glasses.
yeah, so yeah, that's the main thing. But we actually do a really good job about that. I think we we use it. We have the chance to abuse a bit of the number of
Playing
managers.
sponsor games when you are in a team where
Yeah.
you share
So
the group with several teammates is always a little bit of a chance to abuse the position.
yeah, so yeah, I think we do a solid job there, and yeah, the atmosphere in the team is really good at that. I mean, besides Diogo is always fighting, but
Yeah, I think that perhaps he could do with my advice to control the ego a little bit.
no, I mean, Diogo is like always wanting to point against you. So if you say that you want to give him the sponsor, he says no, you should take it. So
So
you're always
he can
gonna
be
have.
wise. He can be wise too. Okay, okay.
So no, no, I
Having
mean,
an ego is not necessarily a problem as long as it
nah.
is under control.
The thing is
Let's
that
say it.
something that I said earlier. I mean, we at Nuvolari have really we share
You
a
love
really
each
good.
other.
Yeah,
You
we
love
love
each
each
other.
other. We love each other, but we have really similar goals, and we all understand what are we doing right here. So at some point it doesn't really get into a discussion because of that. We understand what we're doing and what we are aiming to. We also have no secrets between us in terms of package. So unless we are fighting a teammate for a championship like it happened with Pedro and Gato 2 seasons ago, I mean, at that point you have to close
To
a bit of.
conceal perhaps your sponsor situation.
Yeah, maybe not that much with sponsors, because they were not fighting each other, and we were looking
Okay.
at the future more than that season in particular. But yeah, you need to understand that Antonio couldn't really see the planning from Pedro, and same for Pedro to Gatos. So yeah, beside that situation, we always share everything. I can check at my teammates and what they are planning at every single time. So that really helps to actually don't ask or don't act with that ego or fight between us about some stuff. So at some point, it's tough when I mean, two guys wants to be a champion and the same team and the same season, but besides than that, we do a
Yeah.
really good job.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, because one can perhaps coordinate, but sometimes the timing, things happen when you plan,
Hmm.
and when you have the package, you need to use it.
Yeah,
I believe it's a little bit like that. If you have the package, you need to use it. It is very generous to say, "Hey, bro, you can do the push this season. I will retract from doing that." But then you have a package that perhaps is ready, and it's not fair to be that generous.
yeah. The problem is if you look at season 82, 82. Sorry, no,
See, we
no,
are a
I don't
few
know.
years back.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk. Sorry.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah. Okay.
two
What,
seasons
what did you
ago,
smoke, JD?
2 seasons ago, when we started, when the season that Antonio won over Pedro, it started. The top six, it was four Nugulari managers. So that means that four guys had really top package, and anyone could actually aim to win a championship. So if you go to that simple point of view of each other, like what makes me more special than the other to push here, and or the other to sacrifice things
You
for me.
sacrifice, yeah.
So at some point, it happens when you have a lot of guys in a competitive moment. It's a good or a nice problem to have
It
between a team,
speaks
actually.
volumes of the health of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think as long as they are sorry, there are some clear rules about that. I think any one of us can actually do
Healthy
whatever.
adult communication, people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So in the future, it's gonna happen as well. So it's nothing. I mean, Dio has a really good package right now, and maybe he could push last season as well. At some point, okay. I mean, if we can settle it and don't face each other, it's good. But if we don't find an agreement, it's perfectly good as well, because we both aim for the same. We well, we had the same situation. Neither of us was a champion 1 season ago, so I wouldn't feel really bad if we had to fight each other. I mean, it's sad that
It's
we are
not
facing
ideal,
us,
but it's fair.
but yeah, it's fair. Exactly. So big part of the team play and the sponsor situation is works with that mindset.
Absolutely. Uh, I wanted to approach something that we discussed last season about the cycles, because
Yeah.
I always want to uh, try to add some experience and open the point of view for the newbies in the game, because you have had a cycle of 30 seasons with Nublari by now, and those first 20 seasons with the team, you were actually learning about a new point of view and a new perspective regarding gameplay. You were developing as a manager. and as a person too, because as I said, you were very young when you started playing, and now you are an adult. But you were already an adult back then. You were around 25 when you joined the team, so you were not a kid anymore. And then, of course, when that actually you reach a point that you were ready to build your package, and the most experienced players can give a fair read, seeing the development of the driver, and analyzing the sponsors, and checking how many laps someone does in the test track and things like that, and they can understand when someone is preparing for a championship. But perhaps the newbies don't get to see that. And the truth is that you have been preparing for this push for 10 seasons. So, can you tell us about this cycle of 10 seasons? What happened? How did you get there? What did you prioritize in each stage of these 10 seasons?
Yeah, well, I think when I joined Nuvolari, the first thing was to close the knowledge gap, because there were really top players around the team, and I was joining as an amateur guy, so there was a lot to be aware and to understand how they play, how they work, how they think, and also getting along with the team dynamics. So so it was the first part. While I was trying to reach elite for the first time, it was basically taking it as a learning experience, and understand what they do, why they do, and whatever it was around to try to get it for me, to make it mine. So uh, I think that's the first cycle I've done in Nuvolari, and along the way we had the retirements of big names like Jan back in the day, or Jug. Same with Bert leaving at the moment. It was really maybe the three most. Not, I don't know if the three best players, because we have really good players and they were playing at the moment, but
But back
they
then
were
they were like
at the
core.
top. They
They
were at
were
the top.
core.
So yeah, uh, basically when we lost that, I think the team had to also find the path to coming back to the winner's route. Let's say. So um, at that moment, well, I was in elite. I was basically studying what Jan did back in the day. I have a huge admiration for him as a manager, since I was out of the team. But once I see the work from as a teammate, I actually rate him way higher than I was rating him. So I think that this once my first elite cycle ended, I I was like part of two things: the team's learning curve that had to happen at some point, and my manager learning curve as what I was missing to actually reach the top level as a manager. So at that moment, it was tough days back in the team. Basically, there were a lot of recruitment process.
That
Actually,
is
I hate
always
them.
so painful.
Yeah, I hate them actually. I like the
I also do. I always have my worst memories in the team were recruitments. Actually, that's a
yeah,
very stressing
because
moment for any team.
I think that's a moment that when I said it in the Spanish interview, I had a lot of let's say fights. I don't know if fight, but discussions
Discussions.
with teammates like Diogo, that we have different point of view and we defend what we feel right. So at some point. it's tough process. So sometimes the energy that you spent in recruitment, it's taken from the game energy you have.
For yeah, focusing on the game, on the gameplay.
Exactly. So basically, let's say my second cycle where I reached the lead a lot of times, but drop it quickly. I really had a good package. I really prepared. I was trying things. I remember having a British rock season in the middle where I started to understand how the pace in elite was, or what make you have, or gives, let's say, the pace in elite, what decisions in the manager's uh, career or in the system plans actually makes you faster in elite. So I had a lot of those kind of seasons where I was trying things, but without a proper goal to actually uh, prepare a push or whatever. So in the meantime, I was maybe more focused on the new guys or whatever the team was going through.
Nurturing the new recruits.
So also it was a bad time in real life, not really good at least. So maybe I wasn't with all my energy focused on the game. And well, at the end of the day, I think when I was maybe hitting the floor in that uh, I don't know
In
how to
that
say
cycle,
it.
you know, you have
Yeah,
ups and
in the
downs.
I exactly
Ahí va.
in the lows
Ahí
in
va.
the lows in the lows I feel like at some point I hit the floor, but I found this driver that actually achieved the championship, and I started to get like things right with the planning, at first with sponsors, then with with economy that maybe wasn't the greatest, but it was working. And well, I reached master. It was good. The pace was good. I was doing good. So yeah, that basically motivated me, like like psycho and contract renew in the driver, like 0 to 100. So yeah, it was really good moment. And well, the cycle with this last cycle in the team, where the team was already way more mature, a lot of important guys joined, and others came back. So that cycle,
You actually ended up recovering both Jan and Yug.
yeah, well, Jan coming back is absolutely key for me, because a lot of stuff that I didn't know
He
or I was
nurtures you.
missing.
I think that you look up to him and you smile and feel a little bit like a little girl.
No, I mean, come on.
Come on, JD. Feel free
Yeah,
to say this
I
is a
admire
safe
him.
space. This is a safe space. You can let your feelings out about Jan.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's key, and I always gonna say it. I always gonna price him super high, because it was super important. Also, when I was starting in Volare, it was really important. He showed us a path how to play at some point, when we at least for me, but I think for Diogo, for Pedro as well, that we were starting and understanding a lot of stuff. He really guided us at that moment. So I remember my first OVP was a copy paste from Jan's, exactly a copy paste. So yeah, I studied his game since I joined Nuvolari. So he coming back for the push was really key. And well, he knew a lot of stuff that I wasn't realizing at the moment. But something good, a good feeling I had when planning for the championship, was to actually be aligned with him in a lot of decisions, to actually um, feel the same about the some stuffs, like tires, like some decisions on car changes, or even testing priorities. So yeah, at some point it is really really important to, let's say, put them, set the bar at some point and discuss in the same level. So because if I wasn't really sure about what I was doing or whatever, I will basically follow what he said only, and well, I feel like
blindly, and that's not the idea, of course.
that's not ideal. At least I always wanted to improve what he tried to give me or bring me at my plan. So it was always so super rich exchange with him, and it is the base. I think it is the base with any teammate. In this case is Jan, but I try to do the same with Diogo at some point, or I try to,
It depends on who is more involved and has the
yeah,
better energy at the moment.
exactly. We have the experience. We are a lot of really experienced managers. We have in total 5 champions actually. So there is always um, a, a guy with experience, with uh, already the path done, to bring some energy and understand, okay, you can do this, you can improve this, you can work this way. So yeah, it's the most important thing. uh, at least in Nuvolari it works like that. Maybe it's not always on the chat, sometimes it's in private. I talk to Diogo every day basically. Sometimes it's not about the racing or the strat or the budget or whatever. Sometimes it's something else, but it always helps to be involved.
Yeah, but I mean, you have also this particular uh, circumstance that the team has so many members, and of course it is hard to perhaps you you can't avoid to get these little islands, where people perhaps talk about different things or are in a different moment in their cycle, so they might have more affinity to talk to a teammate and at some other point to another, but happens everywhere. The matter is that with so many team members, perhaps it's more noticeable, but I believe that it's a common dynamic, that okay,
Yeah,
yes, this season I'm a amateur and some of my teammates are elite. Okay, we are not going to be discussing a lot about certain things. Perhaps I will be talking to other people who are in a similar situation to mine more than I talk to the lead guys. And I think that
yeah,
happens everywhere.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are 40 guys. We have 10, 11. I don't remember how many, but we are 10 only, around that number in elite. And the discussions in elite is mostly from those guys. It's normal to actually, um, I mean, be in touch with the people that at the same level, because you have the same situations to discuss about, the same worries, the same pathing or whatever. So it's really nice to find people to actually start growing, or be always discussing about the same you are going through.
Yeah, you
Uh,
had this the generation of '68, the season
yeah,
'68, and that recruitment where you joined, and Pedro and Diogo.
yeah, and
So you
we
have these like
three,
your little brothers that were born at the same time as you were in the team. I think that
yeah,
that was probably a very close bond there.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I get along with anyone. I'm a friendly guy. I have no worries with with anyone. So it's not only, I feel really an important bond with whatever with all Nurari basically. Whatever actually is active,
Come
I'm
on, don't
charging
try
a lot.
to don't
But
try
yeah, I
to
love them.
be.
I love Diogo and Pedro. They are
Yeah,
also my time zone, and
please.
their time zone
You're
is the
trying to be
same.
so
So
politically correct. Say that you love them. Come on.
I love them. I love them.
And you look up on on Jan
Also, I mean,
and he makes you feel all the jiggles, you know. I
yeah,
mean, I know it. Uh, okay, we have this question. Martini is asking how hard will a champ push for for new players, and he wants to. He brought, of course, untrainables to the discussion here. Of course, Martin is being very very specific in his questions because I think that he knows the answer, but he wants us to actually put this out in the discussion here so others can listen to.
yeah. I think the untrainables are huge. The impact is huge, and it takes a lot of time to build them up. So I've reached elite with around 50 untrainables. So yeah, I felt the difference when I reached elite when with the 80 and 100 now. It makes a huge difference, especially because the testing with untrainables, maxed or not, is huge, and big part of the car comes from there, from testing. I mean, so
We're talking about, let me do the clarification the same as I did in the
yeah,
Spanish one. We're talking about car character here and how the testing helps build the car character. And of course, that car character is distributed between power, acceleration, and
yeah,
handling. So this is precisely what JD is talking about, how you need to build that, and the untrainables have a huge impact on that. We
yeah,
talk about the caps because, of course, you can have so much facilities, and you can have a certain technical director and the skills and the characteristics of this technical director. So we discuss how this cap is very easy to reach. And of course, this is another of the situations where you are actually giving a big advantage if you are not optimizing things here.
yeah, yeah. Also because you reach the you reach the top of the max you can get from testing at some point, and it's normal in elite for people that test every race uh, from basically master days. So at some point you hit them. I don't know how to say techo, but
Ceiling, the ceiling.
I hit the ceiling. So um, yeah, you won't go higher than that. So the higher it is, the more
Yeah, yeah, you had a
room
hard
you
cap.
have to improve.
I do recall that those times at master, especially at master, where you have a very limited, of course, an OA limited TD, so much facilities you can buy, and you keep hitting uh, the character ceiling all the time. You say, well, I want to get to elite with this number in my untrainables or this number in my characters, and it's so hard. It's so hard, and you get frustrated because you are doing your best. You are testing 17 races a season, and you have the cap there, and you can get past that, and all that is an advantage that you are giving the players who are already at elite. You come with your little master package, and you are really in a big disadvantage there. And I also remember the big difference it made for me to test at master once I had reached elite for the first time, and I went back to master. Of course, you have better untrainables, So yeah, I was getting a much better deal from my testing. So when I reached the elite for the second time, I was in a completely different position.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sure you experienced that too, JD.
Yeah, I mean, well, master to elite is basically the biggest jump in the game. So what I feel, I was looking at the race and laughing at Facundo saying the roof Nieri. Sorry if I got lost a bit, but I feel that like the fact that giving a lot of advantage in the anthem, the Italian anthem, it's a really nice one. I
It's a
like
very
it.
nice one, but I'm sure
Not
Diogo
not
is not very happy about that.
no, definitely not what Nuvolari was waiting to hear this time. We always wanted it, but not this time.
No,
A lot
not
of
this time.
Italians in our team.
There are actually Nuvolari, for those who were not back in the day around at GPRO, essentially was started as an Italian team. Uh,
So sorry, got
let me
distracted
deviate
again.
the discussion for a second here because I don't want to this to that seems that I am avoiding or you are avoiding the question here,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
that's
think that
interesting.
this is related to supporter credits. It's not clear in the question, but that's what experience would
I think
suggest to me that is trying to be put into discussion here. I don't know precisely your supporter status right now, JD, but can you talk about this? I'm sure you have been a supporter or not in different moments.
yeah, I've been supporter since I think season 80 or maybe a bit earlier, but I think it's a good feature. It gives a lot of stuff, especially if you are reading race analysis. It stores a lot of data there, so it helps. It won't make you maybe better. You can save it anyway. You can take a picture. You can download it. You can. It's not giving anything different, but it's a good feature. And also it supports the game. I think if you are here and we pay support there, it's not only because the tools they gave us. It's about maybe support.
The features and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
comfort
and
that
i
you get.
always I always felt like that was at least that was the reason I was paying. Sometimes like when I got the random in round one in my push, I wouldn't, I think, and I'm paying this like, and I rage quit everything or whatever. But
You
yeah,
had a
then you
moment
you
there.
yeah, you cool down and understand that it's
This
about
reminds
support.
me of Shake You, Joaquin
Yeah, but
Quintana. For
but
those who don't know him, but he used to be very very angry when something didn't go his way and insult blood about
oh,
randoms and such, and it was like funny and very caricaturesque to to put it away. But yeah, the
yeah,
day you have a random, you start wondering about your personal choices, and among those are paying for supporter credits. But
yeah.
uh, you
I mean,
have
I,
you
I
have teammates
remember.
that pay for supporter credits and others that don't. Can you tell if it gives an advantage at level at gameplay level?
No, I think no. It doesn't give
It doesn't.
anything really to the gameplay. I mean, it's just facilities to store the race analysis is maybe the best thing, but you can do it every race as it finish. You can take a picture or as I said it, download it, so it doesn't give anything different. If you want to see a little better with support deliveries, well, that's a good reason to pay supporter as well.
Actually, that was the reason I started. When I became a supporter, I became a supporter because they retired the livery I was using, and it went to the
Okay.
supporter section. And I wanted that livery, so I became a supporter. This was ages ago. I don't know. He's
It is good, and
season
also if
30, 31 or so.
sometimes there are people that pays for wearing the team livery. It's also a valid way to or need to pay it. But yeah, basically that's the main thing about supporter. I mean, no.
Absolutely, but in short,
Let
Ismael, no, you don't get an advantage if you pay for supporter credits. You won't reach a higher tier, and you won't become or not GPRO champion because you pay or not supporters.
yeah. Sorry, let me say congrats to Lorenzo. I didn't say it. Sorry. Uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, really, really
Lorenzo,
solid
Lorenzo
job.
wins here. We have
Yeah,
the
I read it at that message and I realized that I didn't say congrats, so it's deserved. As I said it in Spanish. I repeat it in English. I think Lorenzo is one of the top three managers right now in the game, so I'm not surprised on what he's doing. As I said, shout out for Diogo that is facing him in a really good shape, in a really good situation. So well, let's say it loud because they deserve the credit. And well, I think at some point right now Pablo enters the discussion, and Jan, the three. Before you say anything about Jan and me, they are the top three in the game right now for me.
Yadi
So
Yan.
he'll laugh
I
at me, you know.
Yeah, I do. I need to entertain myself somehow.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's in good fun, and
Yeah, I know. I
we
know.
we actually let us
I'm
clarify
joking
that
as well.
JD and I know each other in real life. We have met, so yeah, we have some permission to play some banter that perhaps would be a little harder to play with someone I don't know, but in this case we know each other in person.
Yeah, yeah. It was good fun when we met in Argentina with also Vladimir Valis. So yeah, I have a huge
Bloody.
yeah. Vladi, he's not here. I think
Mm.
tomorrow Rosario plays at home, and he choose to have the free day tomorrow instead of today. So I wanted to invite him here to the stream because I feel like he could add the point of view or my messages, because as I say, I'm a big friend of him.
An
Uh,
outsider's point of view.
yeah, how he was during my push, because I chat a lot to him. Uh, of course, we don't talk about the technical stuff because we are rivals as a team. But the part of the support and the mindset, we really share about that. So it was really helpful to from I mean during the push as well, especially with that slow start with the random. So
You had a tough season start last season. That's true, but I know that Vladi helped you go through that and actually overcome the bad moment and keep your focus on what needed to.
yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Here and the guys, something that it's fun that I think the only Nuvolari that actually doubt if I could be able to achieve the championship was me. So I have to say thank you.
Man of little faith.
Yeah, well, I'm my mentality is basically a graphic that goes up and down every time. So yeah, when you start with such situation, 12 points behind, etc., it's it's not an easy time. But yeah, the new was really did a top job to keep me motivated. Same as Blood, it really helped. So yeah, I have to say thanks to all of them.
Of course, they deserve credit because, as we said, it's not really possible to be at such top level, especially at this day and time where we have players that have been playing for decades, and that brings the learning curve and the general level of the game up. So if you don't really have the proper support and people to share this learning curve and experience with, you actually cannot be at the very top.
Yeah.
So chapeau to all these guys that have been with you along the way, including Vladi from a different team. All the Nubularis were crucial, I'm sure, but it is true that all these people helps to stay on track and with the
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
on the objective
Yeah.
and, and, and,
That's
and
it.
learning every day.
I think something that it's my mentality in my life, but I take it as a big part of this is to actually knowing things was going to go wrong at some point, and I had to to stay, let's say awake, being awake
Alert.
of
Yeah, yeah, you had to
to
stay
yeah,
alert.
alert, exactly, to do whatever and take it that wrong moments as a learning stuff, and trying to not repeat the same mistakes or whatever, so you
It's like
always gonna be
Thanos, it's
better.
inevitable.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I always try to learn from what I done yesterday, and well, it really helps here in GPRO as well.
So
I'm
I,
reading
I
in the
wanted I wanted to assess. Here, here we have some comments on the chat. They
Mhm.
are going in the right direction, I believe. But I wanted to get an experienced player like you, JD, to comment on this too, because here I assume Caleb is a newbie. Is pretty fresh to the game. He wants to know more about what is the difference in the level in the gameplay from amateur to pro. He is looking to promote, I believe, and so he wants to know what is waiting for him next season. What would you say are the key difference between the amateur and the pro levels?
well, the first is the level of the field. Maybe in pro there are people that are actually having uh, a, let's say a little time in the game, so they are not so experienced, but um, most of the people in pro actually knows about the game, so you'll find probably a lot of different things coming from strategy, coming from the management in the money, or the car levels or whatever, but also it's a huge step in terms of you have for first time the TD, you have the first time the tire selection.
Tire France.
um, yeah, it, it's a really big step forward in terms of playing the game. So far your worries were about the strategy and the driver, and now you have a few more. You really want to understand how testing works. You really want to understand how the TD works as well, how it affects your package. And as I
The
said, or we
the
were
facilities
discussing,
investments too.
the facilities investment as well. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff that are coming into play. The good thing about pro is that it's not like master that everyone has really built up everything. There are a lot of weak points in each package. It's really unpaired, let's
I
say.
think that is probably the tier where the level differences are bigger.
Yeah, well,
It wasn't always the case, but with the recent times where we mentioned before that we have so many long-term players that have been here for years, and those players, of course, have much more experience. So the fresh players are going to get into pro and feel the difference. And that's why you have amateur as a preparation, because if not, the difference would be too big. but it used to be not so big, the difference. Among the players inside the pro tier, you had like a more level feel like master is now, but with the years and how the pyramid of the game evolved, you have more difference at pro than was something that was perhaps reserved to master in the earlier years. You got to play at pro and master over a decade ago, so I think that you might agree, JD.
Yeah, yes, sí. Sí, sí a
Sí,
todo.
sí,
Sí.
sí a todo. Yes to all. Oh, tick all the
Yeah,
steps.
Spanish comes to my mind sometimes. I'm still not automatic in Spanish.
Yeah, it's
So
natural.
yeah, but I yeah, I can't really add anything to what you said. I think. Mm.
Yeah,
Just to retweet to that.
we happen to also live in a very particular experience where we had the pyramid of the game expanding, and these differences were really
Messed up,
like
basically.
mixed up. Yes, and it was a confusing time. But right
Yeah,
now I think that things are pretty stable,
yeah,
and the things are different.
yeah. I think. Well, something I want to tell this guy is that be ready to face a level of playing that you didn't experience till now. I mean, you have to realize that at some point. If you don't realize now that I'm saying it, you'll realize when you are playing in pro. But the first time is always challenging. I don't know what teams, or if you're in a team or on what team you are, but it's wise to ask your teammates or whoever is close to you that have this experience to to uh, give some advice, to maybe some, I don't know if tricks. I don't think there is any real trick that makes you play better, but whatever it worked for someone, it's a good experience you can bring in and decide with all the cards in the table.
Fair enough, one would say.
Yeah, at some point it's a wall that you don't see, and you're gonna crush it. You maybe can deal with it, maybe you don't, and have to be ready for either of them, of those situations. If you go through or not, it can happen. There are people that never reach pro, so enjoy it. That's the first thing to say.
Yeah, you actually have that margin to learn, because you will have more prepared and less prepared players.
Yeah,
At master, it won't be so easy to actually have a margin to outperform the most experienced players.
yeah, yeah. It's tough. Imagine that 10 seasons ago I was playing in pro. Just an
Yeah.
example. And of course, for someone who is new in the tier, it's gonna be challenging because obviously I had more experience than my rivals. Maybe not compared to all of them, but from the average, I had more experience. And yeah, it's maybe easier for me or for those people that has the experience to maximize our package and stay in a better shape. But uh, I mean, we do mistakes. We do a lot of planning regarding on of goals. So we are not any different from a normal player. So I think you will do really good.
Okay. I'm trying to check if we have anything pending in the chat. I want to, Sergey, I suggest you read the link I just posted It's part of the wiki. It's a suggestion about bringing F1 features to the rules at GPRO. It's not the exact rule you're talking about, but it applies. This live stream with JQ. Oh well, actually we have had some live streams with JQ, but I think that they were in Spanish
Oh,
from years back. Uh, I don't remember exactly when this was, but this was around 3 years ago. I hadn't done a live stream in a very, very long time, over 2 years. So if you want to check that, it might be available. I don't recall if there was any streaming with JQ live in English, but it should be worth checking the channel at YouTube to see what is there in the archives, because it's been years and I don't remember.
yeah. Yeah, I think I don't remember about JQ, but I remember a lot of interviews in Spanish at least. There were really important characters in the game, at least for our community. So for sure, if JQ isn't there, it's next to be because he's
Yeah,
doing a really
because
good job.
we used to do these more casual streamings where we say, "Hey, anyone wants to join? Come, everyone join," and then we went with what we had. If whoever joined, we picked something to talk about. It was more like a free discussion. Now, of course, we had the chance to talk about your career now that you are celebrating your first title. But we had these streamings that were didn't have a topic in mind, so we had people like JQ at some point. But I'm not willing to do that anytime soon because it's very energy consuming.
Uh, I think I don't know, but it was like a depth. We met each other in real life. It was like you couldn't miss this.
Oh, absolutely. But I also have tried to interview champions to do some championship features similar to this one. Of course, when you're doing it live, you open up to questions and you take the chance to interact with the community. But I, for example, tried to get Gadu to
Oof,
do a
that's a
feature,
tough
and
task.
and I wasn't lucky, and then with
Well,
Pablo I could never agree on a date and time. He of course was a recent uh, parent back then, and
okay.
those things happen, life happens. So I did try to do two or three of these in the last couple of years since I stopped doing the videos, but I wasn't in any luck with the guests. So thank you, JD, for being available and, of course, being in the right mood and the time availability. You went above and beyond to get here. I know that you had to arrange this with your employer. So thank you very much. About that, nobody has the obligation to do this. This is something that we do as players, as part of the community, and we do it because we want to and think that we are going to be enjoying the time spent together. But yeah, sometimes I would have wanted to have more videos, and the things that the planets did not align. And that didn't happen. But today the planets aligned, and here we are in our second video with JD because we did the video in Spanish last week. I think that, of course, the race finished several minutes ago already, but I wanted to know first who else has any questions for JD, and of course, if JD wants to add something or wants to bring to our attention anything he wants to share. This is the moment where we need to be starting to close the streaming. And so whatever you have in mind and you want it to be discussed, please, this is when. Um,
Well, I can first. I want to say thank you, Flo, because I love to be here. I love
oh,
to reach the people in any way possible. I'm always around talking to the community. Sometimes I'm not as active as I am right now, but I'm always over there. So thanks for the space. I I have a lot of people to say thanks to, but let me
use a
say that.
space. This is your moment, JD.
Yeah, no, no, I mean it's I I have to say thanks to all the team, all Nubularis for the patience over, especially over the last season. It was demanding. I was like crazy every race. Yeah, it's tough. I leave it really intense, and the season I felt it like that. Maybe it was a bit quieter at the end, the last 2 3 races, but it was like me screaming on the chat every race. So thanks guys. That's the first I have to say.
Uh,
Thanks for all the Latinos sending good vibes. It was really important as well. um, Feel that you represent more people, but a community really felt special, and I think I it's good to actually get it home to achieve what we were missing at some point, that we didn't have a Spanish speaker from South America
yes,
with a cup.
actually,
So
a Latino, as you say, because Spanish speaker, of course, we had Pablo,
yeah, but
but not a Latin speaker. I don't know if it actually happened, as a matter of fact, because
yeah, Leandro.
we had Brazil, that he's Brazilian and he speaks Portuguese. Of course, he's Latin American,
Yeah,
because you know we have this common culture in the region, but he's actually not a Spanish speaker.
yeah.
So it's been a long while.
Yeah, and you guys really made it feel special as well. So thanks for all of you. Let me say thanks to Facundo in the chat for saying "Vamos Nacional, Nacional nomás."
Oh, that made me giggle at the point, and I didn't put it on screen, but I was laughing like an idiot. That was what triggered my laughter.
It was important. It was important. We
But we
win a
were
game and
discussing
we
something else
happy.
that was already on the screen, and I didn't want to be disruptive. Yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, basically that's everything I wanted to say. Thanks to all, and uh, it's nice to share this space with all of you. So I hope to see more champions from origin as well. I'm sure I want to convince Bloody to play seriously, stop with the freaking elitist. You are not
oh,
meant to do that. If you make it, I know you can, but it takes time and it's luck involved. So I think you deserve better than trying your luck on that stuff. And I don't know what else.
Shake is trying to clarify that he isn't as moody as he is painted.
Okay.
You
I didn't know
let's
what he was JQ. I was reading
no,
his message, but
it's very clear to me. He later clarified it's AQ, but I read the first comment, and it became clear very fast that it was AQ. You are slave to your words, AQ. If you act up, you act up. You know, in a different context, it's a different context. I agree. If you can be a very nice and supportive person to your teammates and the people in the community when you go to a meeting, but when you are in a mood, you're in a mood. We love you regardless of that.
Yeah, I really hadn't a lot of chat with JQ. I think I had a chat before the push. I think we were trying to guess who was pushing. It was nice. It was fun. But
It,
yeah, I remember since my first days, we are long term players at this point. So it's good to for everyone, especially for the community we shared. But it's good to see to keep seeing those well-known faces and doing such a good job. So uh, I hope you keep it up.
Here, Facundo is looking for a mentor, apparently. So
Well,
I'm
you can text
posting
me.
the message here. His name at the game is Facundo Machado. So if anyone is volunteer as a mentor, you can message him. Let's use the space wisely, as I said. So any other questions for JD?
But yeah, race is not nice, huh? Let me say. Someone is saying that in the chat. I'm not happy with that, but okay, I can take it.
Let's say, well, 40% rain. So yeah.
Oof. No, and 16 degrees.
And 16 degrees. Tricky.
Uh,
Mixed weather races are always tricky. Anyway, if nobody else has any questions for JD, we are going to finish the streaming now. So hopefully I get more invites accepted in the future, and we can repeat this experience, and we can have this more often. But for now, this is it. And see you next stream, people.
if somehow you find the time to make an interview to Pablo, I want to chat with him. Huh?
Yes, yeah,
Invite me.
actually, we had a little bit of a chat in the last days, and he said that now that he's a little more calm with the very young kids he has at home, we perhaps can do something, but of course, pre-recorded, he's not available at this time, and it's very
Yeah.
unlikely he will be able to be available at this time.
Okay.
So yeah,
Let me
we,
know
we we will
if
see
he's
about
not
that.
so shy. I want to talk to him at some point.
Yeah, I think
I
that
tried to chat a bit with him by message, but he was so short
he's
answer.
well, sometimes these guys are a little bit of divas.
Come on.
I'm joking. He's not a diva. He's very nice person. It was just a little banter. Okay, people, see you next streaming. Bye bye.
Cheers.